Assalamu alaikum viewers, how are you all? It's Adnan Shahzad from Checkup. So today's video is about how to make your gig better and successful in Fiverr. But before starting that, I will say that I have to make this video in English because one of our subscribers told me to make this video in English language. So pardon me if, for our Urdu users and Urdu speakers. So let's start the video. So here I'm gonna share the tip number 1 about this topic. So let's start it. So the tip number 1 is find your ideal Fiverr subcategory and services. What does that mean? It means that when you join Fiverr as a seller, the first thing they tell you to do is create your own gig. But before you pick the first category that pops into your head, take some time to work out your ideal niche and the services you are going to offer. But to do that, you are going to look at the Fiverr by the seller, not by the seller point of view, but by the buyer's point of view. You can do that easily by clicking the buying link in the navigation menu. After that, use the menu buttons at the top to find the main category that matches the services you want to offer. Hover over any link and you will see a submenu with categories, with subcategories. Explore these in detail so you can pick the perfect one for your gig. When you click on a subcategory, pay attention to the menu on the left of the page. This has further refinements and gives you an idea that what buyers will look for when choosing your services. For example, in the whiteboard and animated explainers subcategory, you can segment by type of animation. For example, whiteboard, 2D, kinetic, and by output format like MP4, AVI, or MOV. Similarly, in email marketing subcategory, you can segment by email platform and by what's included. For example, responsive design, campaign development, and graphics. So it was the tip number 1 that you have to find the specific category and its subcategory that what you're gonna offer to your buyers. So now move on to step number 2. Step number 2 is simply check out the competition. What does that mean? How do you know that who's in your competition? It is the main step of making your gig more prominent. So look at your competitors, that who are your competitors in that category, in that specific category which you're gonna offer. Once you have refined what you plan to offer, the next step is to see who's you are up against. It's same as who's in your competition. When you are in subcategory, the default view shows recommended service providers, but many buyers will be more interested in who's got a good track record. These are your competitors who are already in the same order menu. So to find them, change the default view from recommended to best sellings. This will tell you which gigs are already popular, and from that you have a sense of what kind of services you have to offer in order to make yours equally popular. Pay attention to the sellers with hundreds or thousands of reviews and a star rating of 4.7 or higher. That's who you want to beat. As you browse their profiles, look for how they describe their services, whether they are offering something you can also offer, if there are any extras you can offer that they don't offer. Scroll down to the end of their gig description and check out the keywords they use to describe their gig, because keyword is the main thing while developing your gig, because it's the first thing a buyer searches, what he wants, so you have to be focused on that. Make a note of these for when you create your gig, that what your competitors did and now what you gonna do to make it more popular than theirs. So repeat this for multiple sellers till you feel you have got a handle on what buyers in your niche really want. Then it's time to switch back to the selling interface and starting up your Fiverr gig. So moving on to tip number 3, or you can say step number 3, create an appealing title. What does that mean? It's especially the main thing is in your gig is your title. Your title will show, and this will engage your customers that what you are offering actually. With thousands of providers to scroll through, buyers will use the gig title as a handy way to decide which gigs are worth their time. So it's important to highlight your unique selling point and say what's in it for them in the 80 characters you have to title your Fiverr gig. There are three simple ways to make your title stand out. Number first is you'd use adjectives in your title. Use adjectives in your title to describe your services. Most sellers say that their services are professional, but if you add some emotion, then your title stands out. For example, if a video seller says that I sell videos, so you simply add breathtaking videos. So this will emphasize on your title that your video must have something unique in your video, making sense. So second number point is, in making your title appealing, is include in additional related service. For example, with video you can add that you do post production. You can also do post production. Pre-production is another example. It's the first step, but you can also have extra abilities to do work on that. So come to point number 3. Add your delivery time. If you're going to deliver your product or services within 24 hours, it's worth mentioning in the title. So let's go to tip number 4, which says that choose your subcategory and tags. What does that mean now? Pick your gig category. Fiverr will recommend subcategories based on your choices, but use the research you did earlier to choose the subcategory where you can compete effectively with the other sellers. While you are there, select your gig metadata. There are other filtering options of your gig as described in our first step. Finally, add the tags you identified from your earlier research. Tags is another main thing in your gig promotion. If you want to rank your gig, ads must be there. You can add up to 5 tags. Remember, subcategories, metadata and tags will show up as filtering options for buyers, so you have to choose it wisely. If these 3 points of your gig are stronger, buyers will automatically come to our gigs and will give you offers. So moving forward to tip number 5. Tip number 5 is create and price your Fiverr gig packages. There are 3 main package orders in a Fiverr gig. You can use those 3 packages in your Fiverr gig. So if you use those 3 packages, all 3 packages, it will boost up your earning. So for each and every package, you must have a unique title that what you are offering in this next package, which is not mentioned, which is not available in package number 1. And then if you are going to package number 3, so what extra you will get in this package. So these things will boost up your earnings by almost 60 to 70%. After you title your gig to show what's offered, you have 100 characters to create a catchy description for each gig package. As I already told you that there are 3 packages, so for all 3 packages make a catchy description which will automatically bring your customers to you. So let's go to yeah, and one more thing, while driving packages for your orders, the 3 must things to mention is first is number of revisions. You must have to mention that. And if you are charging for extra charges for your extra work, you also have to mention that. And similarly, most time spent on the gig, so you can also have an extra money for that. Now moving up to tip number 6. Tip number 6 is win buyers with your gig descriptions. What does that mean now? Write a gig description that makes people want to buy. You have got a lot of space to play with, so here's what you do. Here are some points I'm gonna tell you in this section in tip number 6. First one is highlight the benefits for buyers, including how your services will help them achieve success or win businesses. Second one is say why you are the right person for them to work with. 5-star sellers with thousands of happy customers usually lead with this information because it helps to reassure potential buyers that they are choosing the right gig. Third one is state clearly what included in the services you offer. You must be clear about, and your gig and your description must be clear about that what you are offering to your buyers. Number 4 is include links to social proof. If you got any external portfolio that makes your services look good, this is the place to put it and to attract buyers towards yourselves. Finish up the description by adding some facts about your services. If you're not sure what to put here, go back to those bestsellers you looked at earlier and check out the questions their buyers ask. For example, if you are creating a logo, you will want to know something about their brand, and if you are writing content, they will need to give you information about their audience. These are the last thing I discussed was about tell your buyers what you need from them. For example, if you are making a logo for them, ask them what sort of logo they want, what sort of colors they want to put in that logo. So you will have an clear idea of what your buyers actually wants. So moving now to tip number 7, boost your Fiverr gigs by visuals. Add visuals characters to boost your gig. One of the best ways to have a successful Fiverr gig is to make sure more people see it. Fiverr says creating a gig video can increase visibility by up to 200%. Gig videos are only 75 seconds long, so make every second count. So to make those 75-second video more fruitful, your gig video must include natural background lighting, look directly at the camera, showcase your personality to help buyers feel comfortable. So now moving up to last tip, tip number 8. Before finishing your gig and before making appealing and your gig, making an appealing gig, it's the last tip I gonna give you in this video, that is market your gig for increased visibility. Once your gig comes on your dashboard, how could you increase its visibility? Market it. Share. 3S formula must be there. Share and share with your friends, with your groups, join Fiverr groups, join freelancing groups. Share it as much as you can. Let people know that there is your gig. Once people engage through that, you can get the ratings and reviews that make the difference between success and failures. Here are some tips I can give you about this certain tips for the making your gig visible. I already told you that share it on social media. Secondly, download the Fiverr mobile app. By downloading Fiverr mobile app, it will be easier to share your gig on a single click. You don't have to go to your PCs or your laptops. You have to on it and then you have to share it. From mobile, on a single click, you can simply share it. So in this next tip is that use Quora to drive traffic to your gig. Quora is something that Fiverr recommends. Quora options include blogging and answer questions related to your gigs. So use Quora as much as you can to drive traffic. And the last, it's not that much important, because if you are a beginner you can't afford that. But if you can afford that, so use social ads to promote your gigs. So buy ads, you can simply buy that ads about your gigs, and you can simply share it. So that's all from today's video. See you in next video, and kindly text and comment me that what I gonna share in next videos. So for today it's enough for today, and stay home, stay safe, and stay happy. Allah Hafiz.